Howdy how, party people. All right, it's time for market analysis. Okay, what a week. All right, let's get into it. So, this is, as you can see this trend line going from Monday all week. Here, I mean, Tuesday was absolutely insane. That was the day. Wednesday too, we had all those pumps in the morning and then sell off and chug. So the initial balance of most of those days were where it was as. This is the 15-minute chart. We're kind of at a bullish and not bullish area right now. We closed under the highs and we closed way over the lows. Okay, and there were plenty of moves this week, but it was also very frustrating. And for instance, if you look at the 15-minute, the MACD says it wants to go higher, as does the TTN squeeze, but the STO is completely maxed out. So what I saw this week was a lot of rotation, a lot of trickery with the price action as far as dark pool and flow and this and that. And we had plenty of data, we had plenty of moves, a lot of moves pre-market. We had some good volume and we had some abysmal volume. And as you can see here on the 15-minute, we had the MACD top out on Tuesday when the price was at 4485 on SPX. All right, so this is very important. Again, one of those things, I mean, you can't humanly possible to check everything, but it's good to also zoom out on a smaller time frame. And as you can see, they brought the MACD all the way down with the price being higher. Okay? And they pumped it with the STO and the data, but the MACD is king, even though it's a little lagging. As you can see, it topped out on Tuesday and it's come all the way down to levels last seen on last week's Friday. But the setup is a little different. And if you look here, I still if we rally here, okay, Tuesday, which the pattern says that we should, anything could change. But if so, this is that gap that I highlighted for you guys. Will we fill it? I don't know yet. However, this here, I want you to mark it, 4555. It is a previous FOMC announcement level. And as we saw this week, that was a previous FOMC. That was actually Jackson Hole. That's why we got that reaction there. Okay. Now, if we go on the hourly, we can see that the STO has been brought down all the way from Tuesday and Wednesday highs. So it has room to go higher. But the MACD is still coming down on the hourly. That's what makes this a little tricky. And that's why I think we get more of the price action we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, until we indeed fill this gap. Can we have a pullback? Yes. However, remember I said that bulls want above 4,515 and bears want below 4,515. I said that in the chat. Well, it's not a coincidence that that's where the market makers closed us. Right on that volume shelf, there's nothing above it. Okay, there's plenty of support underneath. This one, mark this. Bulls do not want to go. This is last line of defense is 4497. Okay, that's last line of defense. Ideally, you do not want it. You see this blue line here? That's for 500. That is definitely good for a bounce play, so mark that too. I would think that we chop this whole week between 500 and the gap. Okay, which is still 40 points, so there's plenty of moves and plenty of scalps, so don't be like, oh man, it's gonna suck. It's not gonna suck. As you saw, think about it. How many percent gains did you get this week? You could have done nothing. You could have taken that last trade that I did on Friday with 166%. Think about it. So you got to know when to press the gas and when to not. And May and June, I've probably in my whole trading career not traded as many trades as those 2 months, because it didn't matter what you threw money on. Any dip was buyable. We're going into a very, very strategic time period. September and October absolutely kill people. I will be trading every day, but I will really be picking my spots and going in with a 5% challenge mentality, which has been great. But it's also, you depending upon your account. Look, if you got a big account and you slap it hard and you take 20%, you're going to feel good. If you don't have a big account and you slap it, 20% is nothing. And then you're going to want that, 100% trade. So that's where knowing these setups, knowing the market, communicating in the chat like, yo, this looks good. Okay, there's a setup that looks good. Is the market going to do anything? What do you guys think? Communicate in the chat. There's many amazing traders in our chat. Okay, so use it. So that's kind of my I'll get the levels on Tuesday. I do like that we got a buy here on the hour. I like that volume stick in. I like the stow. We could still base a little bit. We're not close in on a 1 hour MACD. Now, again, I cannot tell you guys enough. Here's a perfect 5% challenge setup, okay, where you see the stow starts going. It's always the first one to go. See the color change. Okay, you got the MACD cross. You got to play that first bump or the retest and caught a absolutely life-changing move. Now on the hourly, we got the 9 curling down. Okay, we're way above the 89, but the 89 curling up, as you can see on the hourly, the 89 is a slow mover and cooker. Okay, and it takes its sweet time, so that curling up is very bullish for the first part of September, and I'll get to that, so stay with me. I mean, yeah, the VIX 10-minute, just loving that trend line. Need to extend that one. But anyways, I mean, the VIX is in full crash mode. Can it go lower? Yeah, you got some serious divergence here. But this is why, again, VIX calls is the dumbest trade in the market, in my opinion. We are nearing some serious lows here. Something to keep an eye on. It will bounce, but it's so far low that it's going to have to retest and get smacked down, and that will undoubtedly present opportunity. It's come down so much compared to what the market's done, in my opinion, even though we've rallied hard off of this double bottom, what turned out to be a double bottom. But yeah, 5 days straight up pretty much. What does the daily pattern suggest? That we're running out of steam? Yes. But again, look at the TTM. It's only printed its first teal candle. And last time it did that, the Stow was also up there, kind of. It's a little higher now, but the MACD was higher. And let's just see what happened. We had a green. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 days straight down. I remember this in May. We had that dip, and then we had that incredible summer rip. So I'm thinking something like this, not as heavy of a pullback, but again, I'm gonna get to it because I've had this chart on my computer. I've showed it before for you guys, but before we get into seasonality stuff, let me just go through all of this stuff. So the NAMO, obviously I said here it's gonna reverse, and it did in grandiose fashion. It's getting very, very overbought, so I think we might get a pop Tuesday, and then we're probably gonna base and chop around where scalping comes in. So, you know, again, going into a day with the mentality of I'm gonna take 50% of a scalp is really good to put in your mind. Once it goes, it retests. This is not crossed yet, and as you can see, we're literally mimicking here, kind of chop, and then it can pop. Okay, KRE was absolutely on fire on Friday. We got some nice Vol D action. In my opinion, very telling why the market is up here. This is pretty high already. I said on Thursday that we didn't really have any action as far as calls. They were not high up, but that came in. So this indicates we go higher. For that to happen, this guy needs to do this at this level, which is reject. And anytime, last time, that was a pretty heavy reject on Tuesday of that level. And it's a big level, so keep this Dixie level. I'm gonna put more alerts here so that I'm, even though my trading view has been beeping, it hasn't been showing alerts, so then I gotta look around. But this is looking a little overextended already, in my opinion. But the Dixie is everything. That's also why Friday was kind of like but this is getting top heavy, so should come down. The 10-year yield, same thing, right? It was smacked down and then it bounced back. But let's put in a trend line and see here. Keep an eye on that. It looks to be a trend. Should get a day next week where that falls hard, which will be a rally day in my opinion. Oil, the problem with oil, and I've said this many times, is when oil does this, it means that Bank of Japan absolutely has to change their yield curve magic. Obviously oil going through the roof here. Why? Well, economies around the world, you know, seasonal stuff. We got the oil reserves in America empty, and you know he released that oil to kind of, well, not kind of, to cook the market, to cook the gas prices when they were going through the roof. The problem is now, you know, that oil was probably bought, and I remember, I think they refilled it when oil was around 50 or 60 post, you know, the Kung Flu. So it's not a good trade for them to do that right now. There's a big volume shelf here. It's going to have a hard time to get through. I think they released that when oil was up here. So yes, it can go a little higher, but it can also explode. I'm not gonna lie. Like this can cause an issue where oil. I mean, look at this daily MACD, and look at the STO, and look at the TTM. It just says unless they manipulate this is going to fly. And as of right now, because of geopolitical ties, namely BRICS, they have no problem just like making this fly. OPEC has no problem making this go up to here. And then, we're looking at our good old Oxy, which is not a bad idea. I mean, again, it hasn't really, again, it's above our magical level of 63 that we played to death last year and earlier this year. So can it go up here? Yeah, if oil starts going, get Oxy leaps, I'll be looking at futures this week. But again, very choppy, but can go higher. When do I think it goes higher? Well, that brings me to the next part here. So, I have a very important date of September 5th, which is Tuesday. We will get a move. It can be a reaction to the downside or upside. It's, as I showed on SPX chart, it's a little tricky. We'll see. I do have, again, everybody has, mid-October down, and then Santa Rally comes. So we'll probably get down to here to the 420s or 30s by then. And then, I mean, this is still the channel. Okay, so we can pop, go down, and then go up. But September 23rd, I know this is marked here as the 20th, but September 23rd is a Saturday. It's a huge, huge, huge day. And as of now, with this, I said when it pops, it comes back down. It did that. This is, I've shown this last month when I started doubting our last sports calendar. It is the S&P 500. The other one was a futures chart. I really think that this will play out. That we'll have a rally into the equinox, and that will be a major turning day, which I'll let you guys in the full moon circle, of course, know, and everyone else. But I think that mid-September is a big, big turning point. And this model I've also shown you before supports it. Every time it goes in, it needs 2 touches of the bottom and the top, and then it'll decide where the next range is. Remember? So from May, when we rallied through June, I showed you guys this, and I was like, okay, now we're in a new range, right? You see what the point here is. So that would mean we touch here, we go up there, we touch here. We can chop a little bit, but then we should touch the top around here, which would be, mid-September, and then go down. And then I think we go higher, because there's not going to be a crash right now unless it's a black swan event. This is our old sports almanac. And it was tracking here, but again, I think we can go higher in mid-September. We'll see. But overall, then we go down, and then we're going to have a rally, which is going to have to do with, obviously, with the Fed. For Tuesday, I got early high, Wednesday, early high, Thursday, early low, Friday, early low. Okay? I just want to show you guys this trend line that we've had in here forever. Some of you might remember it. It's like a symmetrical thing. I just think it's pretty incredible that we're right there. That's our pink line. That pink line is heavy, 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 heavy zone. If we go above it, again, there's no reason why we can't retrace to these levels. Okay, what was the August high for SPY? 459. Can we do that? Yeah, we can put in a double top, absolutely, by mid-September. It all has to do with these rotations, but it's doable. I mean, QQQ as well. Can it get up there? I would love a double top. I would buy puts for a month out, whatever it costs, and literally walk away. Airbnb is joining the S&P 500, so that's something to keep in mind. Meta failed to have that move that I was hoping for. MongoDB held like a champ, something to keep an eye on though if we start going here, but it didn't have that money shot. LRCX still over 700. Nvidia, we tried it, did not work. Quite the sell-off. Will it next week go back up here? Yes. So Doug or whoever is looking at it, let us know. I'll be looking at it too. Rivian had some action. BABA, I think China comes into play. That's an incredible Friday for BABA. Obviously their market was, rained out. We'll see. I mean, this has coiled so freaking hard now. Look at that volume that's underneath there. Look at that. It's incredible. And again, one day. It could be soon. Because look, this is well filled out. One day soon. It'll have a UPST type of moment. Keep an eye on shitty stocks. As you can see, we got some movement. We're getting into, the time period of the year where people are going to freaking drain their shit. They are going to max everything out soon. So will this fill its gap before, in Q4? Yes, it will. Will it try new highs? Yes, it will. There's gonna be a few weeks when this will be on full fire. I know Loop trades it, so keep us informed. We're very close here. I mean, come on. Oh, we had it. Never mind. All right, UPST main watch next week. Okay? Never mind. Jeez, this got me a little excited. Whew, finally woke up. AMD, I don't even know why I have this on here. It's not like I'm gonna trade it. Sorry, AMD. The circle of trust. Let's put something else on here. Let's put Airbnb. Since it's gonna be joining the S&P 500. Fantastic. Ooh, nice setup. Perfect. MACD cross. Stow is already up there. Could get a flip there. What happened last time we flipped? Alright, cool. Coinbase, I don't trade Coinbase. I'm not planning on to, but it's good to see if there's something going on. Obviously, all that good crypto news was slapped back hard. Carvana, yeah. I mean, quickly looking at it, that looks like it's going to do ding, ding, come down here and test the 21 or whatever, and then start its leg up. Tesla dropped their prices and their stock fast sell, really heavy and fast sell. 5%. Will it rebound? Oh yes, it will. So Tesla and UPSD main watches. I just watched this in case, Apple, again, from filling that gap full throttle. Main reason we rallied literally, since it's such a huge market cap, and boom, off we go. Okay, let's look at, hold on. Let's look at our beloved flow here. Before we wrap up this market analysis. So, as you can see, flow came in for Qs. They held the whole market up with SPY flow all day. No major dark pool. That has to be a glitch. Yeah. But as you can see that I've pointed out all week, they've stopped selling. Okay, they sold. There's Bank of Japan. Okay, remember? I was in Honolulu. Totally sucked. Also full moon play. But again, just want to highlight how the market rallied into the full moon again. And I'm sure you being on the train, you now understand the importance of the full moon. But as you can see, they did start buying the QQQ dip. Flow came in, so maybe we have a tech week next week, or market, if it goes higher, is it's tech running up. That would make sense. But they stopped selling dark pool SPY. They're holding it here. I'm always looking when the 15-minute reverses. It's going to be a rally soon. So with that, I want to say on Tuesday, we have our first full moon circle meeting. If you haven't already joined, jump on that. And otherwise, if there's any huge developments from here until Tuesday open, I will post in the train. Tomorrow I'll be going to the beach. I'll probably check futures. I mean, they're going to be open, I think. So I'll check that out. Otherwise, Tuesday we got a 4-day week. What does that mean? 4-day weeks are usually end the green. So let's check it out and go into it with a scalp mentality. Swings will come. Again, as we saw, you can get 166% in 10 minutes. So, whoa, what happened there? I'm gonna go now. I'll see you on here in the chat and on TikTok. Love yourself, love your family. God bless.